What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is Belle Collective. I think it's episode 4 and 5, I believe, because I didn't do last week. So I think this is it's episode 3 and 4. Oh, I gotta change the thumbnails. Episode 3 and 4. I put 4 and 5. My bad. Well, I don't know why I feel like the season's been going on longer than it has, but I'll change the thumbnail, child. So let's start with episode 3. So episode 3, we pick up where we left off with them down to the part. Leticia crying, Marie like, girl, I don't know what your issue is. What's wrong with you? She talking about y'all being selfish. Y'all just being selfish. This is bigger than y'all. Listen, I told y'all 2 weeks ago, Leticia is sitting there crying because she about to lose that good Belle Collective check, okay? Marie don't care because Marie got 20,000 clinics. Latrice don't care because Latrice has Goddess Liz. She about to order her open up a restaurant and some more stuff, okay? For real, Leticia is the only one on this show that really needs this check. I mean, everybody likes the money. Let's be clear. Extra money is extra money. But she's the only one. No. Her life has elevated the most from this show. Let me say that. I'm not going to say she's the only one, but her life, in my opinion, has elevated the most from this show. And baby, Carlos then probably sat them down and told them, if y'all don't get this together, there will be no more Belle Collective. Because one thing we could say a lot of things about Carlos King, but one thing Carlos King does not deal with is a divided cast. He did it with Love and Marriage Huntsville. He did it with Love and Marriage DC. And he clearly did it with Belle Collective. So that's basically where I felt like that was coming from. So then Leticia going to tell them that they can't have private conversations. And then she turns around and pulls Latrice aside to have a private conversation. I said, girl, bye. But what it boils down to is, like I said, Latrice, Marie, Tambra, Marie, what they got going on is deep. And it's not going to be solved by no, okay, let's just kiss and say goodbye kind of thing. You know, same thing with So Gucci and Selena, but we're going to get to Miss So Gucci and Selena in the next episode. So that was that. Everybody left the fish fry, child. So then we see Marie meeting with her cousin. Marie, if clueless was a word, it is a word. If clueless was a person, it would be you. If oblivious was a person, it would be you. You were sitting there talking to your cousin, and your cousin is trying to tell you how you make her feel. Listen, people's feelings and the reality are not always the same thing. I can't tell somebody how I made them feel. I can tell them what my intent was. I can tell them how I feel. But if your cousin is sitting here telling you that you make her feel lesser than, and you make her feel like, make her feel inferior to you, even though you helped her, even though you looked out for her, even though you did some really great stuff for her, at the end of the day, she is telling you how you make her feel. So then your response is, so you need some money. You need some money. You want to come back to work. So the cousin is hesitant. So Marie was like, oh, you just want me to give you the money. You don't want to work for it. Baby, that cousin looked at her and said, if that means coming back to work at Hamilton Davis, then nah, I don't want it. Now, I don't know the backstory. I don't know how deep this backstory goes. But what I do know is, Marie, you have to listen to people because it may not even be your intent, but the way you make people feel, you have to respect you have to respect and acknowledge what people are trying to tell you. If they're telling you that you make them feel a certain way, then you make them feel that way. Child, moving right along. So then we see Selena shopping because one of the girls is pregnant again, and they get ready to have a baby shower. And they don't know if JJ is coming because JJ and the girls are still not in a good place. So they having that whole conversation. And then we have JJ, So Gucci having a double date with Akeisha and her husband. So let me start here. This was stupid. They supposed to be having a pickleball match, a doubles pickleball. Well, Akeisha's husband then went back to New Jersey. He ain't there. So they don't call him on the FaceTime so he can be there in the room while they're going through this pickleball lesson. And then she ends up playing pickleball with the instructor as her partner instead of her husband who is on the FaceTime call. Listen, there was a better way. Production. There was a better way of doing this. I get it that y'all are trying to have this scene. I get it that you want to show that the two couples and they got that thing going on. I understand that. But there was a better way for y'all to deal with this rather than giving us this bullshit scene right here. Because this was stupid. Who does that? Who put somebody on FaceTime to watch them play pickle? That's just stupid. Unnecessarily stupid. Like, if he wasn't there for y'all to film this scene, then y'all just needed to come up with something better. I don't know. But I thought this was stupid. But ultimately, when they got done playing pickleball, then we end up having the four of them have this conversation about basically where the collective is right now, and then JJ with the girls. Listen, I'm going to just go ahead and cut to the chase. I said this last season. I'm going to say it this season. And I'm going to say it next episode when we get to episode 4. Let me explain something to y'all. JJ. I'm going to have to just jump ahead for a second. And I see, this is why I don't like doing 2 episodes at one time, because then I end up having to jump ahead to something that I wouldn't have been able to have a perspective on last week. But that's okay. We're here now. So Gucci admits in episode 4, when she's sitting by the pool with JJ, she ends up admitting that she started it with Selena with the verbal back and forth. She admitted that she was a part of the physical altercation, that she could have handled it better. And she also admitted that she filed charges because she was embarrassed. Not because she was so physically assaulted, not because she was so physically hurt, but because her feelings were hurt, her ego was hurt, and her pride was hurt. So see here, this is my problem with you, JJ. You knew all of that. And I get it that happy wife, happy life. I get it that that's your wife, but those are your children. And you should have pulled Gucci aside, do it off camera. That's fine. Do it off camera. But you should have pulled Gucci's ass aside and said, look, I get it. You were mad. You were in your feelings. You were embarrassed. You knew it was going to be on TV. You wasn't sure how it was going to be edited. You wasn't sure how it was going to make you look. But right now, at the end of the day, what you need to do, you need to make this right, because this is now affecting not only my relationship with my children, but this is affecting my relationship with my grandchildren. And JJ, you wrong, because at the end of the day, those are your children. That's your flesh and blood. And I think this whole situation was blown out of proportion and carried to an extent, a place that it didn't need to go. Then we have this scene with Glenn talking to his uncle about basically wanting to go into entrepreneurship, wanting to do something different, talking about, wanting to basically elevate his life with Leticia and not really sure how to talk to her about it, how to let her know what it is, the decision that he made. Y'all, I wish I could care. I really wish I could care about Glenn and his feelings, but I don't. I don't. And we're going to get to why I don't care in a little bit. Let me just put a pin in that right there. We're going to get to why I don't care in a little bit. I know I'm blowing through this, but can I be honest with y'all? Thank y'all for being here. Hit that like button. But can I just go on and be honest with y'all? Listen, I know that my baby brother Scotty loves this show. I know that he is like, Belle Collective is the best show that Carlos got on his roster. Let me tell y'all something. Belle Collective is probably the worst produced show on Carlos's roster. And let me tell you why. At least with Love and Marriage Huntsville, with the bad production and the chopped up scenes, at least some of these people can actually act and carry a scene. Child, these ladies can't act. They can't sell it. So when they are giving us these bullshit storylines, they can't sell it. So I don't care about Glenn and what he got going on. Because I still ain't forgot that you had Glenn running around town following Leticia around last year like he had a GPS on the back of her damn bumper, knowing every move she made, everywhere she was going to go, where she was going to get that old fake-ass apartment in Marie's name, and when she was down to the bar having a drink, he just popped up on her. I can't pretend like I can now that Glenn talking about he want to elevate and he want to do this and he want to do that. Because I'm still back there last year with you chasing that woman all over darn Jackson, acting a fool. And I still ain't convinced that he don't have another baby running around somewhere. So anyway, we get down to Marie's situation and come to find out Essie is sick. Her lupus has gotten a lot worse, and she needs to get a lung transplant. Marie is upset. Essie is upset. And I know that over the past couple of seasons, everybody has made a big deal about Essie and Marie's relationship and alluding to it being something more than what it is. But at the end of the day, listen, I'm not one of those people that feel like women can't be friends and it be more. Just like I don't feel like men can't be friends and it can't be more. I feel like they're really good friends. They're business partners. And Marie is broken up because her friend is sick and has to have a major surgery. Like she is on a lung transplant list, right? So we saw Marie being very emotional, and I do think that was real. I don't think that was jimmied for the cameras. I don't think that was made up for the cameras. I do think that the cameras were filming at a time that either Essie had just told Marie or Marie was just really upset by it. And I honestly felt that. Like I felt this. I don't think it's too many people in this world that Marie does give a damn about, but Essie is one of them. And I believe that. And I don't believe it's anything more. I think they really just are best friends. I just do. I just do. So we find out Marie told them about her cousins and the problem she's having with her cousins. And she said that she's opening up a new clinic and she wants the ladies to come. We see Leticia talking to Marie about trying to make things better with the collective and trying to move forward with the collective and how she needs Marie to, try to get on board and try to, put the past in the past. And, because again, Leticia is trying to save her job, y'all. She is trying to save this show. Okay? Marie is opening up clinics. She don't care about this show. Listen, I know we could say a lot of things about Marie, but let's call a thing a thing. Baby, Marie probably make in 1 month what her salary is on this show. I'm going to just go and call a thing a thing. I'm going to just go and call a thing a thing. And I told y'all before, I think I told y'all last season, I think Marie has probably shared, out of everybody, I think Marie has probably been the most transparent about her real life. We knew about the first season with her husband and the issues she was going through with her husband. She was very transparent about what was going on with her husband. Her and her son getting into the verbal altercation and him punching holes in the wall and him getting women pregnant and how she's picked up the slack with the babies and him not being a attentive father. We know the next season with her lupus and everything was going on with her being sick with her lupus. We knew about what happened with, unfortunately, the mother of her son's child getting unalived and going through that and trying to bring the families together. Like, Marie gets to take this season off. Because honestly, out of all of the women on the show, I feel like Marie has been the most honest and the most transparent. Now, we don't always like what Marie shows us, but I think Marie gives us authentic. And that's just my opinion, okay? The next scene we see So Gucci working out with a friend of hers. I just don't care. I don't care because So Gucci sitting there, once again, she playing victim like Selena did something to her and she don't understand why everybody why people feel the way they feel and why they don't understand why she not why they don't have more sympathy for what she going through. Girl, you went into that establishment and you started a fight with Selena and you got your ass beat. And now you want to play victim. You don't get to pick a fight and then play victim when your ass get whooped. Like, I'm sorry, I can't. These people it baffles my mind when I see these people start stuff and then get in their feelings when it don't go the way they want it to go. I be so confused. I'm sorry. What the heck? Okay. So Gucci, another, I don't know what that. I know. Oh, another Candace. Like, right, like, so Gucci, girl, you walked into that establishment again. Listen, fair exchange ain't never been no robbery. Selena gave you what you wanted from her. Selena gave you what you asked for. Hold on a second, y'all. So the next scene we see, so Gucci and Leticia riding with Marie to the opening of her new clinic. It's about an hour and a half outside of Jackson. So it was a commitment, right? It was a commitment. Now, none of Marie's cousins showed up, but baby, I could tell that cousin wasn't coming. Marie was like, "You coming to my opening?" Her cousin was like, "Mm-hmm." She mean that. When she said it, she was lying. I knew she was lying. Marie knew she was lying. The cousin knew she was lying. Her ass wouldn't cross. She wasn't going to drive across town for Marie, much less an hour and a half down the road. But neither here nor there. Marie is there opening up her new clinic. Now, Marie, I need you to do better, girl. You and I get being nervous. I do. I understand being nervous. But listen, we need to get back to some old-fashioned ways of how we used to do these things. Remember taking speech class in school where you had to put the stuff on the index cards and you had to practice to the point where really the index cards were really just a guide. Like you weren't literally reading, like you weren't supposed to just literally be reading. Nowadays, now this is how everybody want to do stuff. They want to have their phone in their hand where they done wrote down a speech and then they just want to read the speech off their phone. They don't look up. They don't make no eye contact. Marie, you are a CEO, ma'am. I need you to do better. I need you to be able to stand up in front of these them 5 people that came to that opening and be able to make eye contact and be able to talk to these people. I ain't like that, Marie. You can do better. And then while we are outside eating with plates in your hand outside, you don't have no tables out there. You ain't set no tables up outside so people could sit down and eat their little hors d'oeuvres. Now, come on now, Marie. Now, I'm going to give you props for having the opening. I'm going to give you props for all of that. But you couldn't have no tables down there for the people. Y'all just walking around with plates in your hand, standing there like this. What's up? You don't have a VIP table where the people can sit down? I don't understand it. Right, Kitty Doc. That speech was awful. And she reading from the phone. Marie, you know better. She's like this. I want to thank everybody for coming to the opening of my new clinic. It is with great honor that I would like to serve the community here. And I know Marie can read. Like, I ain't saying it like she can't read, but that's what happens when you get so stuck on staring at your phone. You miss all of that. Anyway, tables imply they want you to stay. They were trying to get them people out. Well, that's fine. But look, you could just have a time limit. Be like, listen, the opening is going to last an hour. Because it just don't take that long to cut a ribbon, okay, and give a couple of speeches. You invite the city dignitaries. You let the mayor speak. If somebody on the city council want to speak, then you do your little speak. Then y'all cut the ribbon. Then you give out the hors d'oeuvres, and then you go home. Let me tell you something. Just start cleaning up. That get people to go. When you start cleaning them tables and you start throwing away plates, people still eating off them plates. You ever been somewhere? I wish I still had my bowl. I just ate dinner. I had a bowl. You know, but this my hors d'oeuvres. This my hors d'oeuvres. You know how you be sitting somewhere and you have your hors d'oeuvres and you sitting at the table and you eat your hors d'oeuvres and then you put it down and then the people come along and they just throw your plate away. You be like, I wasn't finished. I wasn't finished with that. But that's your clue. You were finished. You didn't know you were finished, but you were finished. But neither here nor there. We got a chance to meet Marie's daddy. Marie daddy look like he is aging like fine wine. Now, Marie, I mean, I'm not interested in your daddy, but he is aging like fine wine, and he proud of his daughter. He said that, he never understood just how badly their mother's addiction really affected her, but he's so proud of her and how she just put her head in her books and decided she was going to get herself out of where she came from, even if she didn't have a mama. Even if she didn't have a mama. Well, she had a mama, but y'all know what I'm saying. We met her brother. Her and her brother are very close. So I like that we got a chance to meet some more. We're meeting a lot of Marie's family this season. The family that don't like her, the family that like her. Okay, her daughter is getting big. You see how big her daughter is? So shout out to Marie again. I know we give Marie a lot, y'all. I know we give Marie a hard time. I know we give Marie a lot. But shout out to Marie for this. All right. We also found out, I understand why Marie has a masculine attitude towards her mom. Right. Raised by her daddy and her brother. Like, she was the only girl in a house full of men, And again, right. We met her brother the first season. He was in that ill-fitting suit. Oh, I don't remember him from season 1, child. That was 3 years ago. You be asking me to do a lot. Xavier, I don't remember that man. But we also found out that Leticia has been invited to do a brunch in New Orleans, and she's going to invite the whole cast. Again, production. I need y'all to be a little bit more original than that. First of all, we know ain't nobody in Louisiana called Leticia to come do no damn brunch. What have we seen in the first 4 seasons of Belle Collective as far as Leticia and her brunches are concerned that would make somebody be like, I want her to come and do that for me? What have we seen as it relates to these brunches that would make somebody say, yup, I want Leticia to come do that for my club, my church, my organization, my sister group, my women's auxiliary, my sorority? What have we seen come out of them damn brunches that would make anybody say, I want you to come and do one for me? So production, we already know that that's not the case. Second of all, since when have any men been invited to these brunches? So you want to invite all of the men to go to a brunch in New Orleans? Child, just say we going on a cash trip. I would have rather Leticia said, look, I think we need to, now that we're trying to rebuild the collective, I think it's important that maybe we need a change of scenery. Maybe we need to get out of Jackson and let's go down to New Orleans and let's have a good time. New Orleans is a good time. We can go to Bourbon Street. We can do this. We can do that. Like, I would rather y'all just go ahead and call it what it is than to sit here and pretend and play in my face and act like anybody give a damn about these brunches, because they don't. Don't nobody care about these brunches. Anyway. I don't know, Xavier. I don't know either. Okay? I don't know either. So anyway, that was the end of episode 3. So episode 4, and again, I have to change the thumbnail, y'all. My bad. I have 4 and 5 instead of 3 and 4. But let's get to this. So we start this off with Latrice and her mama going down to the batting cage. And again, y'all, these ladies can't act. And that's the problem when you go from reality TV to produced reality TV. Because when it's a produced reality situation, these women have to at least pretend and have to act. You got Latrice and her mama down to the batting cage. First of all, what about Latrice Rogers says, yeah, I want to go hit some balls. I want to go to the batting cage. And her mama didn't look like she gave a damn about being at the batting cage either. So we see them hit the balls and go through the little coaching and stuff. And then her mama just say, so what's going on with the restaurant? I mean, it was no segue. It was no nothing. So then Latrice starts complaining about her husband. And I already told y'all, I am done talking about Latrice complaining about her husband, because girl, you like it, okay? If you like it, I love it, okay? You want to be in that situation, and when I say you want to be, please understand. Let me be serious for a minute. Let me be very, very serious for a minute. I absolutely, in my opinion, in the way I feel, in my heart of hearts, I believe that Latrice, at the very least, is verbally abused in her marriage. At the very least. Full stop. That's my opinion. So I don't want to make it seem like I'm making light when I say if she don't want to leave. I get that, because we know that in abusive relationships, it ain't always that easy. So let me be clear when I say that. However, I truly believe that you've been given a lot of support and a lot of help, even people behind the scenes, from production, read between my lines, to other people have reached out to try and help you get out of the situation that you are in. But for you to continuously use it as your storyline, I can't do nothing with that, Latrice. And I'm not going to entertain it. So I don't give a damn about you sitting here complaining about what your husband is or is not doing as it relates to y'all's many businesses and how hard, stressed out you are because he ain't helping. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't. Okay. Now, then we find out that Latrice done retired her mama, and her mama done went back to work. And Latrice, feels some kind of way about it. Look, let me explain something. Not everybody works for the money. A lot of people, even if they're in a financial situation to stop working, when you've been working your whole life because you had to, it's hard to stop. It's hard to stop. And I feel like that's what it is. She said, well, you working all the time and your brother's working all the time, and I was just in that house by myself. I think that Latrice does take care of her mother to the point where her mother does not have to work. But she wants to work. She needs to work. I know a lot of people, especially when you first retire, find things to do. Like, I remember my grandmother volunteered. My grandmother volunteered at the National Children's Museum here in DC. My grandmother volunteered. She bowled in 2 or 3 bowling leagues. Like when I was growing, my grandmother did a lot of stuff. She volunteered. She worked at a daycare, and I'm sure she wasn't making but a couple of $100s on a paycheck. She wasn't doing it for the money. She was doing it to get out the house and have something to do. So I think that Latrice, what I would, rather than fuss because your mother went back to work, find out if there are things that your mother wants to do other than work. Maybe she would rather volunteer. Maybe she does want to work somewhere else where she may not be making a lot of money, but she enjoys doing it. You know what I'm saying? I understand the frustration because you're like, I work, so you don't have to. And then you went back to work after I told you didn't have to. But again, look at the reason. Look at the root cause of it all. Okay. Then we see Tambra and her baby daddy. They go out for ice cream. Tambra talks about how protective she is of the daughter, which a lot of first-time mothers are, especially everything that she had to go through to have that baby. I don't blame her for being a little overprotective. I don't blame her for, wanting to keep her baby in the bubble. Like, a lot of mothers do it. Like, I ain't about to sit here and blame her for that. But she starts talking to him about Marie and wanting to, put things, about how Leticia wants to put the collective back together and put things back together. And he tells her, look, you should. Like, life is life. Life is short. Go ahead and try to make it work, But again, I said it last year and I'll continue to say it. What Marie and Leticia did to Tambra was very harsh. Again, that was a legitimate legal situation, which we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that in a second. These stay away orders that are real versus fake. Tambra has a real stay away order from this man. Tambra has a real legal case from this man. Tambra literally had to call after they were filming that scene that we saw her storm out of. Tambra literally had to call the district attorney that prosecuted that case and let the district attorney know that this guy was reaching out to cast members to continue to despair her and drag her name because it was a legitimate legal situation. And for Marie and Leticia to use it as a play, as a storyline, as something to manipulate was effed up. And even if on the front end, y'all didn't think it was a problem, once you realized what Tambra was trying to tell y'all, and y'all realized on the back end that it was a problem, see, that's my problem. That's my problem. Once she told y'all how bad it was, y'all stood in it 10 toes down. Y'all doubled down on it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we're going to get back to that. We're going to get back to that in a minute. So I understand why Tambra is hesitant, but I also understand that, you know, maybe she does want to try to move forward, child. Try to move forward. So we get to the baby shower and JJ doesn't come. Tambra is there. Latrice is there. They go through the typical baby shower games, child. It's the same game. You've been to 20. At this point in our lives, we done all been to, especially women, child, we've been to 20 baby showers. It's the same games. It's the same food. It's the same spaces. Everybody baby showers be at rented rooms down to the church, or at rented rooms at the rec center, or rented rooms at people's apartment building that has a clubhouse, child. We done been there and done that. At this point in our lives, child, I'm working on the and being invited to my friends' grandkids' baby showers at this point. So it's the same shit, child. But JJ does not show up. Now, JJ's whole family is there, but he not. His daddy's there. His stepmama's there. His brothers and sisters, nieces are there. But JJ's not there. Again, I don't give a damn what you have going on. You don't miss your child's baby shower. I thought that was trifling. And JJ, I don't really... And y'all know I like JJ. But JJ, this is trifling. And I'm sure it was hurtful. Because it would be hurtful for me. It would be hurtful for me. And there's no good reason for you not to have been there, JJ. Gucci didn't have to go for you to go. And especially if you're trying to rebuild your relationship with your kids, nah. Nope. No excuse for it. Not just make sure the meatballs are good. Child, you better have some good meatballs, some good pasta salad, and the cake better be good. Because let me tell you something. At this point, I only go for the cake. I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. I only go for the cake. So then we see JJ talk to Selena. And this is where I was telling y'all earlier in this review, where Selena admitted that the only reason why she filed that paperwork is because she was embarrassed. See, once she admitted publicly, because mind you, her and JJ didn't already had this conversation privately. But once she publicly admitted, look, I started that shit with Selena. I got my butt handed to me. And I was embarrassed, which is why I ran down to the court to try to file some paperwork. JJ, you have absolutely no reason now to hold on to this. Look, stuff happens. People overreact. People make mistakes. But JJ, why are you sitting here mad? Why are you going off on her when she says she wants to sit down and have a conversation with Selena? Why are you telling her no? Why wouldn't you, if you're really trying to rebuild your relationship with your family, why wouldn't you want her to sit down with Selena and try to bury this and get this resolved? She says, well, I talked to my lawyer and my lawyer told me that if I want to, I can talk to her. And if I want to, I can be around her. That is not how a stay away order works. Now, I understand this is the state of Mississippi, and maybe the type of order they have is different. I don't know. But I know for a fact that when you get these stay away orders or these no contact orders, I have literally seen married couples get a stay away order and they reconcile. And if they go back around each other before they go back to court and resolve the order, somebody can go to jail. So for you to have a stay away order from Selena, but then to be like, well, my lawyer said if I want to talk to her, I can. My lawyer said if I want, that's not how that shit works. Which tells me that either they exaggerating about this stay away order or maybe it's a different type of stay away order. But that is not how that works. I ain't never heard of that before. Now, I know I ain't nobody's attorney. And I didn't go to nobody's law school. But once again, I feel like this was a situation where JJ was doing too much when the least would do. JJ was being real extra when he didn't need to be, because all that was necessary. All that was not. That he was doing was unnecessary. Maybe it's like that harassing communications law, very specific to Mississippi. Maybe. It may be. Because again, it could very well be a different type of stay away order. Because again, we know that different states have different laws and different statutes and different language. But that was just weird to me that we go from we can't be around each other, we can't be around each other, we can't be around each other to, well, we can be around each other if we want to be around each other. That is not how that shit works. But we're going to get, when we get to the opposite, we're going to get to the end of this episode, we're going to bring this back up. So Gucci says, well, look, I'm ready to talk to Selena, but my husband said that we don't need to talk. So if he don't want us to talk, then we ain't going to talk. Oh, you know what? Put a pin in all of that. Child, I done missed the scene with Leticia and this badass acting. I'm sorry, Chuck. I skipped all over the scene you was waiting for. So Lil Boosie takes Leticia down to, or she takes him to this piece of land where she says she wants them to build their new house. And he tells her, well, nah, we might need to hold off on that because I quit my job. She was like, what you mean you quit your job? I mean, what? Huh? Who? What? When? Where? How? What? Huh? What you mean? Come again? I was like, girl, you're doing too much. Let me explain something to y'all. The level of ass whooping that I would have put on my husband if he just decided to show his ass up and tell me he quit his job without us having a conversation, without there being a plan. Sir, you know good and damn well that everything has come from you. I am an entrepreneur. 3 years ago, I was a housewife, right? Leticia was a housewife 3 years ago. I am an entrepreneur. I don't have no health insurance on my own. We got a child. We have bills, mortgage, car note. How you just quit your job and we ain't had no conversation about it? So first of all, I don't believe that. I don't believe that there wasn't a conversation. Second of all, if it were true, the level of, baby, he would have needed a stay away order from me. Because the way I would have whooped on him, the way that I would have whooped up on Glendale. Then she talks about how her mammogram came back abnormal and she has to have, the 3D mammogram, the whatever the right language is, so they could dig deeper. Look, I know what that feels like. Been there and done that. That happened to me. Not my mammogram I had this time, but the mammogram I had the last time. They were like, whoa, we need you to come back down. We need to do another one. We need to get your records because we see something that looking a little funny. And baby, let me tell you something. It does make you nervous. It does scare the hell out of you. And yes, not having insurance would take that to another level because baby, trying to come out of pocket for stuff like that. And imagine, God forbid, it had come back that it was cancerous. Baby, do you hear? And then we under Trump now. You want to give her the pre-existing conditions, baby. And Glenn talking about something, we're gonna work it out. It's gonna be okay. Now, when he was down to the Carlos King, it sounded like he started a trucking company or something. And it does sound like things are going. He said they done bought more trucks and this, and this, which tells me that there was a plan, right? You didn't just, there had to have been a plan. But again, the acting was terrible. A black woman would have laid him out right there on the spot. Cameras would have had to shut down. Child, you better say it again for the people in the back. So then we see Leticia go putt golfing with her daddy, where she tells him the same thing about the husband and the daddy. Leticia, your daddy look good too. Listen, I don't know what they doing with the water down there in Mississippi. I remember a couple of years ago they had a water crisis, but these daddies is looking good. Okay, Leticia daddy look good too for his age. Let me tell you something. He's talking about something. It's gonna be okay. God going. That's how I know it's fake. Cause ain't nobody daddy about to sit there and act like and be like, it's all right, it's okay, it's all right. Daddy would have been like, what you mean he quit his job? What you mean he don't have a plan? What you mean you sick and you might not have no insurance? I was like, a little bit of John Amos. I don't know. Yeah, Leticia is a horrible actress. I'm like, are you serious right now? And then did you see, listen, that girl name is Leticia. You know good and damn well her daddy don't call her Leticia. I know she got a nickname. She down in the South too. They call her Lala, TT, Lily, TT. You know she got a nickname. He gonna see her talking about Leticia. You know he don't call her that. I don't even care if he came up with that name. My daddy named me my first name and he don't call me by my first name. The funny thing is my daddy was the one that came up with my first name and he called me by my middle name, which is the craziest thing. And then my mama was the one that came up with my middle name and she called me by my first name. And even that, she don't call me by my name. She done made a nickname out of it. Nobody calls me, that lives with me, calls me by my full name. Nobody in my immediate family calls me by my full name. Everybody has shortened it or gave me a nickname. Why your daddy come around that corner and call you by your government name like that? Leticia. Moving right along. Scripted, right, Chuck? Like, I was like, he was way too calm for me. I'm sorry. He was way too calm for me. So let's get to this last scene, child. My father's side called me Xavier. My mother's side called me Ty. Yeah, I mean, that's how I always know when my parents mad at me or they serious about something is when they call me by my real name, my full name. I was like, oh shit, let me pay attention. Let me hear what they talking about, Sharon. She didn't call me by my whole name. Hold up. Let me. Yes, ma'am. So listen, the ladies show up. Leticia done set up this damn improv lesson for the ladies. She wants to use it as a building block. So Selena and Akeisha get there first and they roll together. Then Tambra gets there and Marie gets there. And what we find out is Latrice is coming and Latrice is bringing Selena. Well, Gucci says, oh, well, if Selena's coming, I gotta go. I have a no contact order. She said, I legally cannot be here. I have a no contact order. You know what, Audrey? That's a good point. Maybe the daddy is just over it because of the cheating. Maybe the daddy is like, girl, if you like it, I love it. You know your man ain't shit. I don't know. You're right. Maybe that's how the daddy was thinking. So here's where I first started getting irritated with this fake ass scene. Because if this woman is telling you, regardless, at this point, it doesn't even matter whether we think she was right or wrong. The point is, if there's a stay away order, there's a stay away order. And what irritates me is this woman done told you, well, look, I can stay until she coming, but once she get here, I gotta go. Leticia is gonna say, well, that's messed up. You're gonna leave, that's messed up. I mean, we trying to build, we trying to rebuild. And Gucci is like, girl, what do you mean? Like, I can't be in the room with her. What is wrong with you? Like, this is a legal matter. And Leticia is trying to make it seem like it's a personal thing against her and her trying to bring the collective together. And so And then Akeisha says, well, she my ride. So when she leave, I gotta leave. Oh my gosh. Y'all ain't gotta go nowhere. Y'all ain't gotta go nowhere. And I was like, girl, do you know how a protective order works? Do you know how a stay away order works? That's not how that works. You don't get to just pick and choose when you're gonna stay and when you're gonna leave. So the ladies are having a good time. They're doing impressions of each other. Everybody's laughing. Everybody's taking it a little light. And then Latrice shows up, but instead of Selena being with her, Dr. Antoinette is with her. And Dr. Antoinette comes in with a stank ass attitude because basically she's been sitting on whatever she want to say. She's been sitting on this shit for 3 years. So she comes in there and she does her impression of Leticia. She said, well, I really don't have anything nice to say about anybody, but I mean, I guess I can do something. So, girl, you came in there ready to start a fight. Like, you came in there ready to start some shit. You ain't come in peace no kind of way. Now, granted, it would have been cool if that's what it was. But next thing you know, well, here comes Selena. Actually, before Selena, Marie and Latrice, and they all get into it. And Marie tries to leave. And Leticia telling Marie, come on, just stay. And baby Marie was like, Leticia, can you please let me go? I need to protect my peace. Can you please let me leave? Leticia wasn't even trying to let that woman leave the room. And I was like, girl, it's not that serious because I really feel like Marie about to smack the shit out of somebody. Can you please let that woman leave the room? We know that Marie, when she feel like she has hit her limit, she leaves. And I think it's for the best. Because I really do feel like Marie will whoop their ass. And Marie was like, well, I got more to lose than anybody in here. And of course, Latrice was like, what she got to lose? What she got to lose? See, Latrice, can y'all please, again, you don't have to like Marie, but can y'all stop downplaying what Marie did? Can y'all stop downplaying the fact that Marie does own businesses? Marie does have clinics, and it is a serious thing. Like, can we stop doing that? It's okay for all of y'all to be winning. It's okay for all of y'all to be doing well. But I really hate that Latrice always wants to tear other people down like she the only one doing well. You're not the only one that got it going on, baby girl. You're not the only one. And you don't have to like Marie, and you really don't have to give her props, but you don't have to tear her down either. Talking about, I would never argue with somebody that's lesser than me. And that's when Marie was really about to whoop Latrice's ass. And honestly, I wouldn't have blamed her. What does that even mean? I don't argue with anybody that's lesser than me. Lesser than you. And mind you, Marie ain't said nothing to no. Marie has not said anything. We know that Marie can go there and Marie can do that. But Marie really ain't said nothing to that girl. Not in this moment. Not in this scene. So then next thing you know, well, here come Selena. Well, the minute So Gucci sees Selena, So Gucci was like, well, that's my cue to leave. Well, my thing is, girl, she done already told you she was going to leave when Selena got there. She didn't told you that. Actually, I got that out of order, but it don't matter, child. It all happened. So when she sees Selena and she say it's time to go, you didn't chase this woman down and you basically, again, making it seem like she wrong. She told you she was going to leave if Selena showed up. She told you she was going to leave if Selena showed up. And here's where I'm looking at production sideways. Because either A, So Gucci's lying about this protective order and whether she can be around this woman or not. Or B, production, you messy as shit too. Because if you know these women ain't supposed to be around each other, you was wrong for introducing, for inviting Selena, especially since Latrice already bought her +1, which was Antoinette. Because if Selena's supposed to be Trice's +1, why was she there if Trice already bought her +1? Y'all see what I'm saying? It's shady, and it's unnecessarily shady. Because y'all already had enough shade going on with Antoinette. Y'all really didn't need to add Selena to this scene. Because Antoinette was doing enough. She was stirring the pot enough. She was creating enough bullshit that you really didn't even need to bring Selena in. But now Leticia done chased she didn't convince this woman to go back inside, and she didn't chase her down, talking about something. It's not that serious. It's not that big of a deal. Girl, she got a legal piece of paper. It is that big of a deal, unless she don't really have that legal piece of paper. Because I was sitting here confusion. I was like, either she got a stay away order or she don't. Either she has to legally leave or she don't. So the fact that she turned around and took her happy ass back in that room and sat down with Selena tells me y'all ain't got no protective order. The judge must have just said to y'all, you stay away from her and you stay away from her and everybody will be happy. Because sometimes the judge will do that, right? The judge won't put a permanent protective order in place, but the judge will just be like, look, you stay away from her and you stay away from her. And just, can y'all do that? Because the judges be over this bullshit sometimes. So I feel like they do not have a legitimate, like, restraining order or stay away order. Because again, that is a legal document that supersedes this reality TV bullshit. And generally the way it works is whoever was there first gets to stay. So if Gucci wanted to stay, Selena would have had to leave. And production would have never invited Selena because now you are creating a situation where somebody is breaking the law. So that tells me that this ain't a regular protective order like they tried to make it seem like. You know what I'm saying? I blame Carlos for this. It would have happened with Mel and Martell if a no contact order in place. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make sense that Leticia was able to convince Gucci to come back in that room if there was a legal document saying they can't be in the room together. That's the part I'm talking about. Anyway, y'all, that's where it ended. It looks like we're going to pick up next week with Marie trying to leave and getting irritated. But it does look like Marie and Tambra do sit down and attempt to have a conversation. So I'm here for it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So I did 2 episodes in an hour, child. 2 episodes in an hour. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Mwah. Peace.